Hello and welcome back to a new Rage Gaming video. My name is Hollow and we're back to talk more Genshin Impact. Today's news is pretty stacked and not at all abstract. That's right, I specifically worded that so I could rhyme a few times, and there's really nothing you can do about that. Anyway, focus. Genshin Impact is something you probably know about by now, considering its extreme success, having made over $100 million in its first 2 weeks. And speaking of first 2 weeks, after the recent leaks revealing the first major update for the game and a lot of what's expected to be in it, we were actually expecting to see that update well timed on the 12th of October, aka 2 whole weeks after the launch, after everyone had had enough time to reach towards Adventure Rank 30 and experience the majority of the main content of the game. In this upcoming update, 1.1, we are expecting a few things: a new region, more story quests, new characters, fleshed out content for post-Adventure Rank 30 and onwards. Sadly, and obviously, it didn't release last Monday, and instead we had this new event just now called Elemental Crucible. There's something to do in the meantime. It's a new co-op event made to work with other players, filling the Crucible in exchange for both character and adventure XP, and also Primo Gems and Ascension materials, so it's worth doing. But it's not that exciting, and obviously this isn't nearly enough to address the elephant in the room, which is that at a certain point of the game kind of runs out of content, and players are rapidly reaching that point, leaving you with slow AR gains and just repeating simple daily content that certainly isn't as fun as the more involved stuff of the game. So what happened, and when is 1.1 coming? Well, thankfully, we now have some details after the official post apologizing to the community and shedding some light on the plans for Genshin's future. We get some information about not just 1.1, but also 1.2 and 1.3 with a roadmap promising new major content updates every 6 weeks from now on. So let's take a look and break that down. This all comes from the team via a blog post in their original language, Chinese, and we're looking at a translation, so hopefully no wording is mixed up or lost in that translation. Explained in the opener of the post, the large number of players at the launch of the game did cause a great number of issues for the team and the game. This resulted in a lack of preparation activities in the initial launch, aka, yeah, they're lacking certain content that was meant to be in the game right now. On top of that, they encountered many problems or bugs, characters becoming stuck, attack plugins, abnormal battles, and so on. There are actually just a few examples of issues I've been dealing with personally, where I have a terrible time every time I do online play thanks to these bugs. Whenever I co-op with anyone, I see combat just break as enemies have no idea where we are or how to attack us, and basically it's very laggy and broken. In one instance, I had 2 separate versions of the same boss I was fighting with my friend Tony, where he was fighting a different boss to me and I could only deal damage to my version and not his, while the attacks were coming from his version and I was having to dodge those. Very strange. Obviously though, there's a lot of bugs going on, and even though I've experienced a few myself, there is a lot more and they seem aware of them. And so the production team has put a lot of its energy into functional gameplay rather than new content for the game. That's why things have been so delayed, such as events and activities to do. They go on to say they've already formed plans and countermeasures for various problems the game has right now, and they're ongoing with the tests before they can roll those out. Due to that, they missed the launch of planned festivals originally going to release around October 1st, and they apologize for that in this post. There's also an explanation in regards to the whole Sea Lantern Festival that was having many issues and is set to release later in the winter. However, they do say they're going to combine different seasons and holidays for the time being, and then when things are stable in the future, they'll hold them for each region as originally planned. That's all fair enough to me. We still get some fun stuff, just not how they originally planned to do it. Alright, so next, the juicy bit. The next version of the game, 1.1 and beyond, is currently under stable development. The production team is working to release new content updates every 6 weeks from now on, with the major updates releasing on Wednesdays. This is a pretty insane pace for the game, and exactly what I hope for. With the brilliant foundation that we've got to enjoy in Genshin Impact, all they really need to do is roll out new content, and hopefully often. This plan is exactly that, and we even get the dates for when it's happening. Version 1.1, which is what we thought was coming on October 12th, is set to release November 11th, a month later. It'll also launch with the Unreturned Stars Off event, whatever that is. Version 1.2 2, the following update, will go 6 weeks after that, December 23rd. This version will unlock the Longji Snow Mountain area, and new activities will be open with that, so a new region in that update. And lastly, version 1.3 is expected, yes, 6 weeks after that, sometime in February next year. That'll also be when the Sea Lantern Festival actually launches. The whole post then ends with a thank you to the players for their appreciation of the game. They've been watching player feedback and opinion closely, and they're trying to take it all in with an open mind. They realized because they weren't clear about the issues that they were having, expectations were a bit high, and therefore the community felt a bit let down after Monday rolled past. They apologized for not being transparent on what was happening and what has caused the different content delays. I think that's fair enough. I mean, the game had an insane launch. You can't blame them exactly for not expecting it to be what it was, and of course, being overwhelmed by it. But you can blame them for not telling us anything, which they did acknowledge and apologized for, and promise in future to be more transparent and update us properly going forward. So I think that's all they can do, really, and I can appreciate that. So what's actually going to come in 1.1 this November, though? Well, they didn't confirm everything just yet, obviously, but we do know from many different leaks that there is a total of 8 possible new characters coming, some of which I've already discussed in my leak breakdown video if you haven't checked that out. But throughout all the different leaks, there's 4 characters that seem very likely. There's Zhongli, the Geo character, Chilled or Child, the Hydro character, Xingyang, the Pyro character, and Diona, the Cryo user. Zhongli actually had some gameplay leaked via the mobile servers, which though, yeah, this is a bit lower quality, we do get a good look at those polearm attacks, which are so quick and so much finesse. I really like this design. He appears to have some sort of dash attack where he drops spears along the route he takes, and then also there's a totem-like summon that he slams on the ground, and then it provides some kind of aura while it's in his range. On top of that though, we also saw through the interview last week that the devs did that yes, a new region is coming in 1.1, the Japanese-inspired land of Inuzuma, which core element is confirmed as Electro. Apparently we're going to head to that region somewhere around the adventure rank 34, so I would say that's a good level to reach before November 11th, which I reckon you'll be able to manage because you've got some time. There's also lots of quality of life updates coming in different forms. It is hard to know what's real and reliable, frankly, though. I've heard a lot of good things like, hey, the ability to change the Traveler's element at will instead of having to go to one of the correct statues, or new resin changes to improve player experience around that daily resin cap. Some of it sounds too good to be true, though, and what we do know for sure is that we're going to have a smoother experience based on player feedback during 1.0, and we can certainly expect new quality of life updates to improve the game with 1.1. I look forward to seeing what these actually will be, though. But for now, that's everything. It's a shame that we didn't get 1.1 last Monday, but to be honest, we never should have. Clearly, from that explanation, we were meant to have more content and events in the game already each week, giving us more direction on a week-to-week basis and more to do in the later adventure rank levels. This is why players maybe started to expect a content update so soon after launch, because it's kind of sparse after a certain point. But it is good to have this information now, and it gives us context that was sorely needed. I'm hopeful for the first major patch of Genshin, and I'm certain that we'll see more official teases and official information to get excited over soon. The worst part about all of this is that 1.1 launches early November, which, yeah, is also a bit of a wait, but mainly there's a lot of other games coming out around that time, man. Lord have mercy on me. What do you think about Genshin these days? Are you still having fun, or is the lack of content a problem for you? I've been taking it nice and slow and really enjoying my time rather than, say, consuming it hard. So I've been okay. I'm still loving the game. Either way, thank you very much for watching. I do hope this was useful to you. Until next time, I've been Hollow, you've been you, and I'll see you in the next video.